Dear Mr. Noble, my live-in girlfriend has been asking me to marry her for the last year. I really love her, but I don't want to marry her. I'm thinking about having just a religious ceremony with no marriage license and then continuing on. She'll feel better, and I know that we're not really married. What do you think? Signed, Avi. Avi, I got bad news for you. Wow, that's some letter, Avi. Hey, in case you're new to this channel, I'm Jonathan Noble, divorce and family law attorney, licensed in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And I want to talk briefly about the letter that Avi wrote. I get these kinds of letters all the time. And one party wants to be married for whatever reason, and the other party doesn't want to be married. So they compromise, and it sounds to me like he wants to have some sort of a religious ceremony where he can appease his girlfriend. Well, here's the problem that he's going to have. If he has a religious ceremony in some jurisdictions and they cohabitate together and they hold themselves out as being married, maybe they file joint tax returns, and they hold themselves out, they have a joint bank accounts, and they're living that married life. In some jurisdictions, they're married, all right? So you want to be careful about cohabitating, especially if you're in Canada, where just by cohabitating with someone for a very short period of time, maybe a year or two, you could be considered married under Canadian law. There's only a handful of states left in the U.S., about 11 states that recognize common law marriage now. I'm making this in 2024. But if you're in one of those states or moved to one of those states and you're living in a married-like state, you could be considered married. So in answering Avi's question, about my thoughts are, no, don't mislead someone by having a religious ceremony only and having them believe that you're married. Because 5-10 years down the road, after they've gathered a ton of evidence that you are actually married because you're living in a married-like state, or you might be in a common law marriage jurisdiction, you don't want to find yourself in a position where you're getting divorced, okay? The other thing is, if you're not in a common law state and you marry someone in a religious ceremony, you don't want to be what's known as the case of first impression, where they sue you for divorce, and then the courts will decide whether or not you were married. Not a good place to be. So what's the point of the video? Either get married the right way or don't get married, okay? Don't go through the charade of having a religious ceremony and then thinking, well, we're not really married, so we don't have to be divorced. You don't want to create new law, new decisional law. You don't want to put it in the hands of a judge either, all right? So Avi, explain to your girlfriend that you don't want to be married under the laws of your jurisdiction, and you're not going to go on a charade. All right, that's the best way to go. You might not like it and you might lose her, but it's better than finding out that the hard way that you're going to be judged married. All right, you got a question, write it in the comment section. Send this to somebody who thinks that they're going to eventually just have a religious ceremony to appease their significant other or their girlfriend. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's better to be honest with them and say, look, under the laws, the divorce laws here, we could still live a great life without bringing in state or provincial law. Be careful out there. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do.